It wasn't me that started it, so
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure who did.
I'm not sure either, but so I will start my recording right now and let's go. So let me share my screen. I am using one screen right now, so apologies. I know my presentation will probably not look as nice as Tess's. Oh wait, let me stop sharing. I wanted to share it a different way. So yeah, the way I like to share is portion of screen. There we go. There we go. So when I do this and move all this out of the way, you guys can see my PowerPoint without all the stuff on the edges, and so I can still see the chat. All right. So, what I wanted to do today is just go through a couple of things. Mainly, this presentation will be shared with you guys. Um, this actually has my actual phone number, so which is my cell phone number. So if you need any assistance, you can try emailing me. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. But if you need me, I will most likely be available with either text or calling um, on the day of the conference. For following up for Tessa's presentation, I added a quick slide in here that I'll be sharing with you guys just of what this attendee makeup is. So usually it's mostly frontline management and executive staff from Michigan nonprofits. And these nonprofits serve different people in need in Michigan, whether it's people with disabilities. Sometimes we have like different nonprofits that serve Native Americans or people who are veterans or, you know, things like that. So uh, um, there's also government workers from the state. I know BSBP is a big group that comes to these presentations. Um, there's CRC specialists and social workers, and a small percentage is researchers, teachers, and students from Michigan colleges, such as MSU or U of M. There also may be persons served. So, and let me just check the chat really quick. All right, and then we'll move on. So, the attendance tracking process. So this is what I've been really hoping to share with you guys because Recon is a very long running conference. It's been going for many years before I was ever hired. So you guys might be used to a certain process that's all paper, people signing in when they first walk in and signing out when they walk out, and having to go to our CE table. Well, we're gonna have that available, but we're not going to be really marketing that. We're going to try have people use their cell phones to track their own attendance. So it will be tracked by using a Google form that they can access with a QR code. So during next week, I will be sending all of you guys a singular slide to add to the end of your presentation so that you can share it with attendees just at the very end of the presentation. What I ask is that you don't share it ahead of time, like in the handouts that you send me, just during the day of the conference that you share this slide. Um, yeah, and that's why I wanted to mention that I know Google isn't usually allowed with that, and that's why we're having the paper option as well. If you want more details on this, there's a link to the website um, that are to our website, which I made these directions. And again, this is the closest we could get to a digital format that worked for the most people. And Rebecca brings up a good point. Not all state workers have access to Google. So we're hoping it works out for everybody on their cell phones. But if it doesn't, then we have an option for people to use the paper format. But what you guys need to do is this example slide is what I will be sending you. It'll be a QR code to the Google form, and then to receive credit, what the attendees will do is they'll have to enter a code that is on this slide. Um, yeah, Misha, this just needs to be at the end of your slides. And if you need any assistance with this, I can help, but I'm going to be sending the slide to you so you can just quickly add it in. Um, does anyone have any questions about this process so far?
I don't know if I missed it. This is Desi.
Yeah.
It normally when you use a Google form, you have to have a Gmail account. What if a person doesn't have a Gmail account?
I set it so that they don't need a Gmail account.
Okay.
It will be taking your and I've tested it before, so it will be taking your email. Like you have to have an email to like submit, but you don't have to have a Gmail account. And I will be emailing the slide that has the code and the QR code so that you don't have to memorize this code that you get. And it's not going to be this exact code, it'll be a different code. So, Sarah, just to answer your question, you will be getting a slide that is a different code from everyone else's code. And vice versa, every presenter will be having their own code here. And that's for security purposes so that um, attendees don't use the same code for different presentations. And that way we'll be able to look at all this data after the conference and be able to send people certificates after the conference. And again, we do have the paper backup to this. We tried this method during the leadership conference, and even though that was a lot less presentations, it worked out really well. Um, I think maybe had like one or two people who needed the paper version. So, but again, we are aware that, this might not work for everybody, but we're trying to make it so there are options for people. And also because sometimes it takes a long time for people to sign in at the very beginning of the presentation and at the end. So, but I don't want to take up too much of people's time. So any presentations approved for ethics, I've already sent these people an email about this, but you will just need to add the additional information I sent, which is ethics codes to the beginning of your slides. Um, oh yeah, and then also for those of you who may have not been at Recon before, people at Recon may already know this, but I wanted to add this slide about facilitators. There will be facilitators at the back of each room that are there to help you and help attendees. So they'll be helping attendees who can't sign in digitally, sign in with the paper sign-in sheet and be able to fill out their CEU documents, but they are also there to help you. So, for example, if you have any technical issues during the presentation and you need my assistance, and I obviously won't be sitting in every single room, I'm only one person, they will be able to go outside the room and ask for help. So yeah, if there's anything you need them to do as well Krista, I think we're good, but actually send me an email afterwards if anyone's interested in being a facilitator for other presentations. I think we are good on facilitators, but we might need more. I haven't been the one that's actually signing people up. Amy has been doing that. Um, but yeah, they're there to help you and to help attendees. And if you need any support from them as well, like maybe on timing when it comes to like you presenting, and if you need someone to be like 5 minutes, they can help with that as well. So yeah, let's move on because I only have 6 minutes. I apologize. Um, so for technology provided, you will need to bring your own computer Um, unless you are the keynote, Misha, we are using my computer for the lunch keynote speech. And but if you are presenting during any other time, you will need to provide a laptop. Misha, if you need one, let me know. I will provide it for your other presentation as well. Um, but yeah, we ask that you bring your own computer, but we will be providing a projector, projector screen, adapters, clickers, and handheld microphones. There will also be IT staff who will be able to assist you. And we ask that you do not rely on Wi-Fi. So if you have presentations that are like on Canva directly or on other services, we ask that you download them and use them from your computer. Um, and also, if you wish to set up like an early testing time with me, whether it's the day before, like on Tuesday, or Wednesday before the conference starts, just let me know. I will be there like in the afternoon on Tuesday, November 4th. And I will be there all morning on Wednesday, November 5th. Um, and then presentation materials. So this is really important. Um, I would like to have all handouts, PowerPoint files, things that anything you want to share with attendees by October 31st. If you need an extension, just let me know. But all these will be linked on a web page that I'm only giving to attendees. So they cannot access this link other than through the information that I share with them via email. Um, and also from these, if you're sharing PowerPoint slides, like I mentioned before, just don't put that slide that I'm sharing with you that has the QR code and the CE information. Information about location. So the parking information will be given probably sometime next week by the Radisson Hotel. I will be giving that information out to everybody. There will also be water stations outside the rooms. Usually at the GTR, they're inside the rooms, but this year they will be outside the rooms. There will also be coffee stations provided in the Kalamazoo room on Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday will be outside in the presentation rooms. So we will be getting a map soon for that. I am still waiting on that, so apologies. Um, Other important information is please review the speaker information packet. And I really want to just hit it home that language around disability should focus on how someone does something, not around the way they cannot do things. So we just want to ensure everyone uses this thoughtful language. So try to avoid these things when speaking about others. Like instead of using high functioning and low functioning or low support needs and high support needs, you focus on the specific traits. Um, Avoid using like handicapped or birth defect and all these other things. For example, oh yeah, and this is just a reason why high support needs and low support needs um, as an overall label is really harmful because, for example, people on the autism spectrum um, usually don't have like all of them as high support or low support needs. They usually need different things in different parts of their life and how they live. It's not just an overall label. And this can be applied to other disabilities as well. So it's just something to think about. Um, and there's some examples like Mike uses a wheelchair instead of Mike can't walk, or Katie specifically needs support emotionally instead of saying Katie is an emotional mess or is high support needs. Um, Other important information, I've sent a lot of emails about this, but if you need me to resend them, let me know. I've sent forms about dietary needs and tech needs. Please fill those out as soon as possible. Optional marketing. I've been doing this for all speakers. If you have not sent me a picture of a headshot, we are still accepting them. And please send in yours if you've not already done so. To the right is an example of how yours would look. Um, And then I just want to say thank you, everybody. If you want me to share what the Google sheet looks like or the website, how the website will look like, let me know. But I just want to, since there's only a minute left, I apologize, but I just want to try and make sure there is enough time for people to have questions. And let me look at the chat. Is the main presenter's bio only, right? So we do have a web page on the Recon website that has people's bios. It's not required, but if you want to have bios for your co-presenters, yes, that is needed. Um, or that is not that is optional. Sorry, Sarah. But yes, the main presenters, I've gotten all of their bios, and so the only bios needed now are optional co-presenter bios. I'm presenting the first thing Friday morning. When do you recommend I come in to test my presentation? So Wendy, yes, you can come in during breakfast. That would probably be around like 7 a.m. ish or 7:30 a.m. ish. Um, anytime before I think it's 8:40 when presentations start, I can help you out with that. But yeah, just email me with a time that you would like to come in, and then we can set that up. Is everything digital, or can we also send you some things to print for attendees? Thank you for mentioning that, Misha. We are actually not able to print things for attendees, so we're just providing everything digitally.
But I can bring my own printed materials. Is that right?
Yes, yes, you can
Okay.
bring your own
There's
printed.
nothing against
Yeah.
them. I know we're trying to work on climate, but I do have some things that are tangible. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. Go
okay.
right ahead. Yeah, you are allowed to bring in, and I'll add a slide about that. Thank you for mentioning that. Um, how do handouts work? Should we have hand anything out, do it digitally? So yeah, just like what Misha was talking about. So yeah, I'm going to add a slide about this. Paper handouts are fine. We just can't print them for you. So you would have to bring in them in yourself. But yeah, is there anything else? Does anyone have any
All
questions?
right, Katie, I think what my
Yes.
question is, this is Wendy. Hi.
Yes. Hi.
I want to make sure that I'm being inclusive of everyone. That's my concern. I'm a new
Yes.
presenter and I don't want to hand out paper copies of things if that's going to make someone feel excluded for my presentation. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing to make sure everybody can be a part of whatever it is I'm going to do.
Yeah. So just because if someone can't use handouts doesn't mean that handouts are like, something you shouldn't use. The way we view things is that universal design is best. So if you want to bring in some paper handouts, let's also make sure that you have a digital handout prepared and available to them. Does that make sense?
It sure does. It's just, I was going to ask people to, I was giving a handout with the option, if they wanted to write things down, they could, but again, I didn't want to
Ah,
assume that everyone can do that. So that's
gotcha.
why I was, yeah, looking for guidance.
Yeah, we do have some like attendees who will be needing visual assistance. So if you do feel like people might be excluded, there will be at least I think 3 or 4 attendees who need visual aids. So um if you're concerned about that, I would that is a good question because I'm not sure exactly how to offer them another way to enter text, but you could possibly use like some sort of like Google form. There's also a fun program called a Mentimeter. I'm not sure if you've heard of that before, but I can put it in the chat.
Thanks. I'll check it
I think
out.
it's menti.com.
There's also Slido, Slido.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, so you can check out a different method where, people could possibly use a QR code or something like that to access a website instead of only relying on paper materials. So I hope that helps.
You have time for one more question, Katie?
Yeah.
Okay, hi, this is Sue Chaplin.
Yes.
we have some videos in our presentation. So would you know if the Wi-Fi, isn't available, whatever, if there will be a possibility of hard wiring in?
I know for a fact that that's like a very expensive additional cost. So we're hoping that people were able to download things, but um the
No,
Wi-Fi
no,
they told us, yeah. Oh,
I
yes.
just meant, do they have a connection where we can put a cord in? That's all I
Yeah,
meant.
that they don't have like on hand a connection to like a hardwire internet because that's usually like a very expensive additional cost. So that's why we're trying to
Okay.
stray people
Well,
from using the Wi-Fi. So
okay, thanks.
yeah. And does anyone have any other questions? It's 10:05. I'm so sorry if anyone's if I'm taking up too much of people's time.
I'll just say that I'm
This is
super excited to
Krista.
meet everybody. And if people are from the area, I'm flying in late the 4th and I'll be leaving early the 8th, but I'd love to connect and I put my information in the chat and thank you, Katie, for having me. Really excited.
Yeah, thank you so much for presenting, Misha. We really appreciate you. Was there somebody else who had a question? I thought I heard another voice, but
Katie, that was Katie, it's Krista Martin. That was me. Somebody had made a comment earlier. It might have been Ramel, um, about reading off the slides, but that is, I mean, it's one thing you're just, dry reading off the slides and not engaging your audience, but that is an accessibility issue that we do need
Mhm.
to be mindful of. So if we have images and graphs and verbiage on our slides and we have folks that are blind and we do need to read and
Yes.
describe what's on
Yes.
each of those slides to make sure that everyone has access in the room. So just keep that in mind. I don't want to be that guy,
Yes.
but I'm that guy. So,
Yeah, no, actually that is something so in the information packet, I can actually share my screen right now and please don't feel scared of all the things on my screen. But
And I don't think Ramel was suggesting that I think Ramel, and you can speak up for yourself, was really talking about how people just literally look at their slides and read them as opposed to
yes.
engaging with the audience.
Yeah,
But
so
Yeah, yeah, and thank you for pointing that out. That is an accommodation, and it's when it's just filled and it's overwhelming. But
yes.
absolutely, thank you so much for bringing that up, for clarifying that. That's a good point that we should take a note of. Yes.
Yeah, so it is in the document that I sent, but also thank you for bringing it up because I think it's an important thing. Describing visual information is so important, and it's something that I actually I skipped past it. I put that graph in my presentation to show you guys how I would have done that, and I've completely forgot because of how fast things are going. So apologies about that. But yes, anytime you put a graph in, anytime you have like a picture, it's nice to, even if it's just a picture of like two people interacting, you should describe that like, oh, there's an image on the slide. There's two people interacting. They're hugging each other. They're smiling. They look happy. Something like along those lines, is really important to be able to share that visual information. And thank you so much for bringing that up. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else anyone wanted to discuss?
Hey, Katie, this is Adresa. I just want to confirm you are going to send us the presentation from Tessa and from your presentation today?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So she said she would send me the slides after this, as well as the recording, because she recorded hers to her computer, I believe. And I'm recording mine to my computer. So you guys should not only be getting the slides, but also the recording.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. We just wanted to be able to provide people with some more information than we usually do, other than, the little handouts that I sent every year. So, alrighty. Is there anything else? Does anyone have any questions about the venue or presenting in general or
Yeah, how will the
accessibility?
tables and chairs be set up in the presenter rooms? Are they like
Great
rectangle
question.
tables or
We have a mixture of rectangle tables and like just like class I think it's called the classroom setting or lecture. I can't remember which setting it is, but it's just chairs all next to each other. So there will be some tables in the back and then some chairs in the front. And I think they sit about 60 people.
Okay. Is it possible for us to get a photo of what the rooms might look like? I mean, I know you can't
Um,
tell us our specific room, but just a general idea of like
yeah.
spaciousness.
I will actually write that down because I am not sure if we can get a picture, but I will try to get a picture from Kate, who is our lady at Radisson. And then I'll also write down about adding the slides.
And then the lunchtime, is it round tables?
Yes, it is round tables
Okay.
during the lunch. John, the lack of Wi-Fi, a cost issue. So we do have Wi-Fi, but it's just we don't have the direct connection that I can't remember who was asking earlier, but there's a different way to get internet, and it's a direct line connection. And usually they charge a lot more for that than they do the Wi-Fi. So that does that answer your question, John?
I I don't know if this would be helpful, but I don't know what connections people have. Mobile hotspots actually work very well. I've done
Mm.
presentations with videos and just connected to my mobile hotspot. So you might want to practice with that and see if it works. But I don't know, at the hotel, the signal might not be as strong as well, but that may be an option to explore.
Thank you. Yes, that is a good option as well. Like I said, they will have Wi-Fi. We just want people to be aware that this is a new location as well. So their Wi-Fi might be really good, but we're just not sure because this is in Kalamazoo and this is my first time with them. But I guess it's the first time that Encompass has worked with them in quite a while. So, alrighty. So, I don't see any more questions. If anyone has any questions, speak now. Otherwise, I think this was a very good presentation, and I'm very happy that it seems like everyone got the information that they needed. Um, Again, I will send out information afterwards, and I will be adding some slides about printing handouts, because that was a question that was not answered in the PowerPoint. And I will add about the visual elements, even though it wasn't that one pager that I sent out a long time ago and is still on the website. I think it's good to put it on the slides. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a great day. Take care, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you at Recon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Have a good
y'all.
day. Bye, everybody.